Welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Millicent Walker. On the news this hour, federal government and Southwest governors appear to be on the same page on Operation Amotekun as both parties agree on way forward. Reactions trail report of Transparency International on Nigeria's Corruption Perception Index as government and opposition speak. Plus, food in Kwara State over the property linked to family of former President of Senate Bukola Saraki and the state government has been agreed to be settled out of court. Welcome everyone to the program. We kick off with what appears to be a settlement. After about 2 weeks of the matters staying on top of national discourse, an agreement is finally reached between the governors of the Southwest states and the federal government over the now famous Regional Security Initiative, codenamed Operation Amotekun. The Southwest governors will now have to draw up a legal framework for Operation Amotekun, which has been generating controversy since it was launched 2 weeks ago. The agreement was reached at the end of a meeting between the Vice President, the 6 Southwest state governors, the Inspector General of Police and the Attorney General of the Federation.
The legal framework to back this Amotekun and this legal framework is going to be one in which all of us will look at, and we'll be sure that it goes without any hindrance.
So would that mean now that the establishment of this outfit has been put on hold until the legal framework is developed?
No, what I believe our resolution is that, look, Amotekun is there. Yeah. Amotekun will have to, the federal government is starting community policing. And it's more of, in essence, really, it's about community policing. So we're going to work together and see the community policing and Amotekun work in a way.
Would you like to tell us why there were no such consultations before the establishment?
No. There were consultations. Don't say there were no consultations. There were consultations because we held discussion with the IG then, and what has developed is what has led to this. Not that there were no consultations. We just felt that, look, with all this noise outside, it's better for us to sit down. And you remember, even immediately the noise started, I said that we are going to explore political solution. And all of us are here, my colleague, Deputy Governor of Oyo, who is of PDP, all of us are here. So we have looked at this solution to it now, political and legal solution to it. All of us will do it.
So what will you be telling your people that are already protesting out there?
Protesting about what?
Protesting, saying
are they protesting against it?
They're saying for it, saying that the government is trying to stop something that they want.
No, the government is not trying to stop.
The Attorney General has clarified that.
The Attorney General has spoken. I'm sure you all read the statement that it was misinterpreted. So it's so clear. So, there was no time. At no time the government wanted to stop Amotekun. That's what we must go about with. And all of us believe that they don't want to stop Amotekun. And when the Federal Attorney General hasn't spoken, it's all about us. So there's no problem.
The statement credited to the Minister of Justice was said to have been taken out of context, and the leaders insisting that at no time did the federal government declare the initiative illegal. The Attorney General had a few words to say on the matter.
The record has been set straight by His Excellency. I have nothing to add.
Well, let's get some perspectives on this matter. One of the leaders of the groups which organised the rallies across the Southwest states, Chief Deji Oshiwogo, the organising secretary of the Yoruba World Congress, who joins me in the studio. I'd like to thank you for joining us on the programme.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Seeing as you were at the forefront of some of the rallies in the Southwest on this initiative, looking at that meeting with the federal government and state governors and other stakeholders, this must come as victory for you.
A very big victory. It's not yet hooray yet. It's ongoing. Perception of most of us is that, okay, we'll put the legal framework at work and possibly in future, the federal government can challenge it, and possibly it can still be proscribed. So we are not sleeping with our eyes closed. We know what has happened in the past. People always think that things like this will blow past. But unfortunately, Amotekun is not only about our security now. It's become a spirit in Yoruba land. It's become the voice of the people in Yoruba land. It's become a uniting symbol for us all. It's a cry for freedom. It's a cry for justice. And anything Amotekun in Yoruba land today is all about justice, freedom, equality, and ensuring that Yorubas are able to live in Nigeria to the utmost best of their capacity. And the Amotekun that is going to receive legal framework is a monitoring system to ensure that we are not infiltrated.
Right.
The Amotekun spirit is a new spirit in Yoruba land that says enough is enough.
But I'm sure you also know that a few persons, some Nigerians are perhaps, well, they've taken different sides. Several lawmakers are also divided on the initiative. Now, some describe it as a regional security outfit. Some have even said it's perhaps one-sided.
Well,
What do you say to them?
For example, let me give you this instance. Most of the members of vigilante force in Oyo State who are likely to be members of Amotekun are mostly Fulanis. In Ogun State, mostly Igbos. So what are we saying? The whole concept has been misconstrued from day one. And it came from the Attorney General. He's the one that has taken this whole thing to another dimension.
But he said, we just heard that he was misquoted when he said...
It took him 5 days, 6 days, almost a whole week to know that he was misquoted. In saner environments, he should have resigned by now. I don't see any reason why any man of that status would hang on to lies for weeks and then come back and say he was misquoted.
But don't you think he was also right to say that there needed to be a legal framework, which is what is being agreed to?
You see, when your people are clamoring for help and they accuse you of wasting time, what are you going to do? Tell them that, wait, let me put all this. What the governors were doing was just a step-by-step approach. First, let's launch the vehicles. In that process of recruiting people would get the laws behind it. They did not say they were turning people onto the streets the next day. People are just impatient.
Well, we saw the vehicles. It seemed that they were in a hurry.
But did you see anybody recruited?
But there have been fears. The fact that...
There was nobody, not one person, wore any uniform that you can relate to Amotekun.
So let me
launching
say
vehicles, does that make the vehicles, when they're not robots, are they the ones that are going to bring to
APC chieftain, Mr. Tinubu, believes that the issue of Amotekun was a step in the evolution of the country's federalism. And we know that in trying to solve our security situation, we're trying to decentralize perhaps the police force. But Amotekun is leaning towards the other way.
It's not. It's not. Please don't let people misconstrue Amotekun. Amotekun is a spirit of equality.
So how do you explain the fears that these Amotekun, the security outfit, might become tools in the hands of some politicians?
It cannot, because it belongs to the people. It belongs to the hunters. It belongs to the traders, the yalatas. It belongs to the carpenters. It belongs to these people. These are the people that came out. They were not bright. They were not given money like politicians to come out on the streets. They felt genuinely concerned, and that's why they came. They came out that to let the governors know that, one, we're behind you for your decision. Two, we have a right in this country, and that right, we want to start examining it. And it's been avoided for quite a long time. We've been taken for granted. Yes, government takes its people for granted, the people take government for granted, and it's become a rat race around here. So we need to reconfigure the whole thing. It's a first step in restructuring security. And this whole thing at Amotekun is still the first layer of restructuring. And if government, the federal government, does not give room for dialogue on this, it's wrong for APC, for the president to say, no, I'm not discussing it.
All right.
And you hide it away. It's a smoke. It's coming out under your desk. Let the president bring out this issue and let's discuss it and let's implement it.
Well,
instead of breaking the whole nation apart.
We appreciate your time and analysis on the issue. Chief Deji Oshibogo, Organizing
Otumba
Secretary.
Deji
All right.
Oshibogo.
The Yoruba World Congress. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much for having us.